Well, the day has finally arrived. Assassin's Creed Shadows review waiting room. The reviews are coming out in a couple of hours, and so this is something we like to do on the channel. If there's a big trailer, a big reveal, a big event like a showcase, state of play, a direct, things like that, we like to do the waiting room because there's not a lot going on in the gaming news typically when something like this happens. You know, everybody knows that this is going to sort of dominate the news cycle today, so everybody kind of buttons up and kind of goes quiet and doesn't say much. So I thought it would just be fun to kind of hang out, wait for the reviews to hit. I will do a separate stream. We'll redirect and everything so that we can have a review roundup that's kind of short, sweet, and to the point, and then kind of discuss where the game is landing. My current prediction is that it will land in the mid-80s on Metacritic and OpenCritic. I'm thinking like an 84, 85. If it gets above like an 85 or an 86, I think that's going to be a huge win for the game. We know there's been a bit of a hate campaign against it and a lot of brigading, a lot of misinformation, and obviously they delayed it to try to remove some of the things that they did put in the game that seemingly were not as thoughtful as they should have been. I will not act like they didn't make some pretty serious mistakes, but I think a lot of the consternation and the anger about this game was pretty unwarranted. I also think a lot of the predictions about it not doing well are not going to fare very well as predictions. I think the pre-order numbers are looking strong. I think the reviews today will also help with that. I think they will. I think they'll push the game to even better heights. I don't think this game's going to do poorly. Now, we are already seeing some preemptive narrative armor by those that want to see the game fail. I think what they're going to claim is that everyone was scared to give it a bad review because Ubisoft is monitoring the social spaces today for harassment, and they will take legal action if they think it is necessary, because there are people that are going well beyond just voicing criticism. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if, and it's easy to predict what this content will look like. I've done it before. I've said, oh, I bet you by the end of the day there'll be a video about this, or this is what they'll claim. And then that's exactly what happens. And so I'm predicting that if the game does score well, that will be sort of the claim. That will be how they kind of cope with the game's success. It will also, I think, do well commercially and be high on sales charts, which there won't really be a way to cope with that. I don't think you're going to be able to say that, like, Ubisoft lawyered people into buying the game. They'll probably try to do some weird logical backflip thing of saying that, like, well, they misled the public, swayed everybody's opinion through, you know, scare tactics, and everybody bought it because it had a good score. Like, that would be my guess about how they kind of try to cope with this. From what I'm hearing, it is blowing people away. People are really enjoying it, so we'll see where the scores end up. So I don't have a show open. That's kind of the show open. We're just going to hang out. Guys, if you're here right now, take a quick second and hit the like button. Let's try to have a huge day, and that like button really helps. And Joker Quinn, Han shot first, and so did you. First gifted member of the day, and that brings us to 158. We're having a great start to the week. It's only Tuesday, so thank you so much for helping with that member goal. And if you want to support the channel directly, that is a huge help when you click the join button and pick Member Plus. It's $6. Another way to support, and we probably don't talk about this enough, is the coffee. I know a lot of you are coffee drinkers, and if you've never tried Reforge Roast, that is essentially like supporting a small business. It's in our house. We ship it to you. This isn't some sponsor that you're buying from and I get a kickback from. So I'll be purchasing it Thursday. We will be playing it here on the channel, and I should have something cool that day to announce and show off as well, in conjunction with the game's release. So, been a while, and I missed your coffee. Good to see you, Ani. If you pay for shipping, Lono, it's $17. If you pay for shipping on what? Oh, the coffee? Yeah, the coffee's very reasonably priced, I think. I've been told I should charge more, but I try to keep the cost at a reasonable level, and it also then is still, we obviously have to make our own margins on it. Like, I can't lose money. So, my thoughts on the new PlayStation Studio. I don't have much to say because we don't know much at this point. We just don't know much. I'm excited that there's going to be, a new studio and new efforts, but like, we're probably not going to see a game from that studio for quite a while. Are you going to be playing when it comes out? I will be playing Assassin's Creed Shadows this week, yes. I believe we'll be able to play Thursday. So we'll probably do a talk show and then dive in the afternoon will be typically what we do. I don't like canceling a live show for gameplay. We typically don't do that because the live show is kind of the main offering. It's what we typically, try to do every single day. Five come on, man. 5 gifted members from Timmy. Thank you so much, Timmy, and all that you do. We really appreciate that support of the channel. 163. That's just ridiculous. Thank you. Thank you for the gifted members. I greatly appreciate that. It's very kind of you. Gee, many Christmas. So it says, why? Yeah. Anyway. I am not going there. I'm being good. I'm gonna be good today. I didn't signal boost or push any of that out there because I don't know if that is. Yeah, we don't know where any of that came from. It could be kind of out of bounds. So I'm not. When's the embargo over? The embargo will be over in 3 hours, 1 p.m. Eastern. So we will go to a new stream. That's a Welsh name, right? I think so, yes. We will go to a new stream. What's so funny? You wouldn't get it. Timothy Coombs a lot is of West Oxfordshire. Yeah. He almost... No, I wasn't laughing at the name, Corey. There's more... Yeah. Anyway. Big Willie B with a member plus. Is that an upgrade or a renewal? It bumps the line to 164. If it's an upgrade, that puts us at 165. That's 10 away from 175. I'm Welsh. No, I don't like sheep. This is why I pay my internet bill. Yeah. Why not say his last name? Yeah, I'm not saying. I mean, I just did a second ago, but there's a lot going on these days. There's a lot going on. Renewal. Okay, thank you so much for renewing and sticking with me. I just want to give credit. I always give people credit for a double if they upgrade. So I always want to double check. But if it's not, if it's a renewal, that's still awesome. You still add to the total. We need as many people as we can get at Member Plus, the $6 a month membership. We need folks to jump out of that gifted pool, man. Hey, it's Till Will with 2 months of membership. Says, good morning, everyone. How's it going? Great show. Oh, have a great show. Thank you. Denver with 2 months of Member Plus. What are your top 3 AC games? Well, thank you so much, you guys, for renewing. That gets us to 166. My all-time favorite is the one that I'm wearing, is AC Origins with Bayek. That's my favorite, is AC Origins. After that, I would go with Black Flag. After that, I would probably go with Brotherhood. That's the one I remember the most. I did a bit of a binge. I went through AC 1, 2, Brotherhood, and I stalled out in Revelations. Like, if you play those games super close together, it can kind of ruin it for you. Like, you should really space them out. I realized I had been kind of sleeping on them because I had been playing, Call of Duty for frickin' ever. And like I missed out on a lot of those games. So I went back and I played them way too close together. I loved AC 1, 2, and Brotherhood. I liked Syndicate actually a lot too. I remember really enjoying Syndicate. I don't know if I finished Syndicate because that was when I was a Destiny streamer. Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's my answer, though, is Origins, Black Flag, and then Brotherhood. Yeah, in that order. I really, really liked Origins. I had such a good time with it. I wish that Odyssey and Valhalla were not so dense. I would have enjoyed, playing those games, but they're just insanely dense. I mean, I'm dealing with that now with Death Stranding. Just every moment I can get, every spare moment I can get to, like, take a chunk out of the game, Black Flag, Origins, Valhalla. That's a good list. I think that's a good list, yeah. Sorry, Lona, I missed most of yesterday. Do you have any thoughts on Intergalactic being Elden Ring inspired? Seems like they mean in storytelling. He gave details on that, Brett. We went and looked. It seems like they're going to go with more, maybe a less linear approach, more player freedom, and also it sounded like environmental storytelling. So it's not going to be so direct, like move through a linear area and then get a cutscene with Joel and Ellie, right? The way they did both Uncharted and the Last of Us games, there was just a lot more of a linear nature to the game. I was going to say linearality, but I don't know if that's a word. I'm expecting TLU 2 style open areas. Yeah, TLU 2 did have some pretty open areas where you could explore, discover things, find things, open safes, stuff like that, to a greater degree than they ever did in the first game. So maybe they just decided to do that even more, like really blow out an area and make it larger, and exploring will benefit you. When are the reviews coming out? The reviews will be viewable in about 2.5 hours. Linearity? How do you even say that? That's such an awkward word. Linearity. Yeah, I can't. My brain can't see how to say it. I miss bigger story as it pertains to the future timeline. We will go to a new stream. Linearity. That's probably it. Linearity. That's pretty good. That's not a bad word. I like that. Now that I know how to say it. Linearity. Yeah. Linearity. That's an awkward word, though. It really is. I'm very distrustful of Ubisoft, but have enjoyed some AC games. Hopefully they're best, fearing for the worst. Here's the thing you have to remember about Assassin's Creed games. Number one, they've changed significantly. They have. And they did AC Mirage as a love letter to longstanding fans. And they didn't see insane commercial success from that, right? Let's see. AC Mirage lifetime sales. Let's just check if we can get a read. AC Mirage sold about 5 million, okay? Origins around 10 million, Odyssey around 10 million, Valhalla around 20 million. So I think we have our answer. Like, the market has clearly responded more strongly to the new efforts, the new direction. If you look at Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla, they've all been more successful. They've like ding, 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 ding. The commercial success continued to go up, right? Mirage sucked. I liked it when I played it. I didn't finish it, but it made me feel like I was playing a classic Assassin's Creed game. I just remember telling people before Mirage came out, I was like, I don't think people are going to be like coming out of their chair because they have like a classic AC game. Mirage wasn't nearly as expensive to make. Oh, I'm sure it was profitable. I'm saying as far as like the commercial demand, I'm speaking more to the market. Like, the market is saying that the new format, people like it. AC Valhalla is their most commercially successful Assassin's Creed in history, followed by Odyssey, followed by Origins. They're the big three. I think there's a reason for that. Yo, what's good, Feed? Guys, we got Jason F. a membership, so now we're trying to get Feed and Derek out of the gray name status. So we're working our way through. We got Jason F, though. He's got a badge now. Mirage would have done more commercial demand if combat was better. Facts. No, I don't think so. Think about this with me, Tyler. You're saying that if the combat would have been better, more people would have purchased it. I think people didn't purchase it because they saw the advertisements and they saw it's a classic Assassin's Creed game and they didn't want it. They didn't want it. Nobody was like, oh, the combat's not good, I'm not going to buy it. Well, how do you know that? You don't know that. I mean, yes, if you go read reviews and watch videos, I'm talking about the gaming populace at large that doesn't consume any of that media. They had no idea that the combat was bad. They saw trailers, they saw key art, they saw a classic Assassin's Creed game, and they said, no thank you. They said no thank you. They're like, no, we're good. We and then look at Origins, look at Odyssey, look at Valhalla. There's been stronger commercial demand for those games. There's been a stronger commercial response to those games. I think there's a reason for that. I think the gaming populace, the global gaming community, has said we like these kinds of games more. I'm not saying one's better than the other. I'm simply describing how the market has responded to these games. I think people keep forgetting that. I think AC Shadows is going to do very well commercially, and I think the people who have been very much against it are going to have to find some way to explain why that happened. You know, I'm sure they're going to claim that there was like fear-mongering and they were threatening people with lawsuits if they were critical, and that just isn't true. That's not what they're doing. They're making it very clear that the way, if you go after people on Twitter and you cross lines, they're going to come after you. That's not the same as being critical of a game. Odyssey and Valhalla and Origins were all $20 3 months after launch. That's why it sold 10 million. Oh no, see, I'm not. That's first and foremost, I don't even know if that's true. That feels like a complete revisionist history, because I played AC Origins at launch and I played AC Valhalla at launch, and I don't think any of those games dropped to $20 3 months after launch. Also, you don't seem to understand how game sales work. Like, game sales don't work that way. 3 months later, that's when they sold all their copies. Number one, I don't think you're correct. I think you're making things up. Number two, you get the bulk of your commercial sales in the first month. You don't get them 3 months later if the game goes on sale. You're trying to do some kind of weird logical backflip to explain why those games were so commercially successful. I'll find proof. I mean, I'm on Google right now. How fast did AC Origins price drop? It's going to be almost impossible to find, because you'd have to have people tracking it. When exactly, why do Ubisoft games go down in price so fast was asked in 2012. I don't think it was 3 months later they were $20. That seems insane. Also, there's no way that's why those games have sold so much. Danny with 35 months in the VIP. 35 months in counting. Keep it up. Yo, thank you so much, Danny. My PS Plus deals app will show me. The claim in chat right now is that the reason AC Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla all sold so well is because 3 months later they were $20. There are plenty of games in the market that go on sale later, and they don't sell 10 and 20 million copies because they go on sale. Valhalla's DLCs are still priced today, says Miss DJ. I feel like you're creating a very, very like poorly constructed argument to claim that the reason that AC, Odyssey, Origins, and Valhalla sold well is because, well, the price dropped later. Almost every game does that, and that every game doesn't skyrocket in the 10 and 20 million quantity of sales just because they drop in price. So many games drop in price. Those games got reduced later. Let's just take the claim at face value. 3 months later, a game going on sale is not why it sold 20 million copies. That doesn't make any sense. Here's the first week of sales. Origin sold 1.5 million in its first week. That it's trailing behind Unity. Now, as far as the franchise goes, AC3 sold 3.5 million its first week. AC2 sold 3 million its first week, and then Black Flag and Revelation sold about 2 million. So Origins was trailing behind all those titles in its first week. It didn't have like a bad start. It didn't have as strong a start as those, but it still didn't have a bad start. November of 2020, Assassin's Creed Valhalla breaks series sales record. Let's see what we got here. Specific numbers for these record-breaking figures were not given. AC Valhalla players were stated in the press release. Yeah, they're not giving us specific numbers in this article, Eugene. But they are claiming that. How long had it been out at that point when this article got printed in November? When did AC Valhalla release? It released November the 10th, and 7 days later, they were claiming in a press release on November the 17th that was meant to be the game's original launch date, Ubisoft announced that it had sold through more units in its first week than any other Assassin's Creed title so far. Like, again, your revisionist history is not lining up with anything that has been reported. If it outsold any Assassin's Creed that far in the first week, that means it outsold AC3, which was 3.5 million in its opening week. Like, I don't think people necessarily understand, like, the draw of Assassin's Creed when you have something like Assassin's Creed Shadows or Valhalla. Like, AC Valhalla was extremely anticipated. It was a Viking game. It looked amazing. Scroll up. The 10 million in sales for Odyssey is over a 6-month period. That's extremely impressive. That's extremely impressive. You'd have to try to get the sales figures before it went on sale. Eugene says Valhalla crossed the billion mark. You don't get that selling games at $20 3 months later. A $10 super chat tip from Timmy. I don't know about you, but I can't wait for Shadows to come to my Series X. Also, do you think the characters are related? The female character is hot and not woke. Let me set the super chat goal. Here, I forgot to set it. I will gift a member. There we go. Ubisoft has said that Assassin's Creed Valhalla is its second largest profit-generating game ever. I think you're creating a very, very poorly constructed argument. I don't think Valhalla, Odyssey, and Origins sold all the copies that they sold and had all the commercial success that they did because it went on sale later. It went on sale for Christmas around 20 to 30. I don't think they dropped the game to 20 or 30 bucks a month after release. There's no way. There's just no way, dude. Still waiting for reviews? Yeah, we're waiting for reviews as well. The game's price dropped to $20 approximately 11 months post-release during a sale in late 2018. Zubair, which game is that? So Zubair seems to have found that a game's price, one of the games did drop to 20, but it was 11 months later. $20 off? He's saying that the games went on sale for 20 bucks. That's what he's been saying. He's been saying 20 bucks. Okay, so Zubair is saying Origins dropped 11 months later. How long did it take Odyssey and Valhalla to drop? I don't know if I've ever seen a game drop to drop to a third of its price a month later. I don't know if I've ever seen a mainline game like Assassin's Creed do that. That seems insane to me. I feel like that would be a memory that I would have, that like, oh, this game just came out and it's already on sale a month later for 20 bucks. You can fact check the pricing of Is There Any Deal? What does that track when the game's prices change? Yeah, not even Outlaws. They didn't even do that with Outlaws. It's gonna be old-fashioned telephone. The truth's got to be mangled. Yeah, by the talking points. AC Valhalla was released on November 10th of 2020. The first notable discount occurred during Ubisoft's Lunar New Year sale, February of 2021, approximately 3 months post-launch. Okay, he did originally say 3 months, Purple Army. Do you have the price that it dropped to 3 months later? What did they do? Was it 10 bucks? Was it 20 bucks? He said the games were $20 3 months later. I'm like, what? I found Origins launch October. I had a Black Friday sale the next month. Same with Valhalla, but only a sale, not a drop. It was like 20 bucks off. They didn't sell it for 20. Okay. If you think those momentary sales that they did for like a Black Friday or something is how Valhalla, Odyssey, and Origins have all sold so well, I don't think that's a compelling argument. I don't think so. Everything we know about how games sell, how they chart, and how they perform, there is literally no way months later a discount is why the games are so commercially successful. It stands against all reason and patterns within the gaming world that's what's happening. It's like There's no way. Games go on sale all of the time, and they're not like, if that, you think that's just like a cheat code that they can use? Well, we're not doing all that well. Let's get to 20 million copies or 10 million copies. Just take $20 off the game. Plenty of games do this, and they, whether it's a Black Friday deal or like just a discount later. Why didn't they drop Outlaw's price until nearly a year later? It's Star Wars. Star Wars games are going to sell off the name alone, and so they're just probably counting on that and not wanting to drop the price. Odyssey was $6 12 months after launch per Stream data. Did Odyssey launch on Steam though at release though? Let's see. AC Odyssey Steam. When did it come to Steam? That might have been well after release. It says AC Odyssey came to Steam October 5th of 2018. Yeah, AC Odyssey launched on Steam. I didn't know that. I thought back then they were still keeping things off of Steam. I didn't realize that. Yeah, it's got an. I mean, and here's the thing. You want to try and talk about how like, oh, they mark them down and that's why they sell so well. It has 153,000 reviews. Like it seemed like it did rather well. How did Origins do on Steam? 85. Your claim was $20 in 3 months, not $6 a year later. Yeah, we've pressed on your claim, and your claim has kind of shattered into pieces, my friend. Like, listen, I get where you're coming from, all right? If I try to view this from your vantage point, you basically see games like AC have big price drops later on, and you're thinking, oh, that's why they sold so many copies. And it's like, first and foremost, that's not how games sell well. That just isn't. That just isn't. Like, a game doesn't sell 10 million copies or 20 million copies because it goes on sale 3, 6, or 12 months later. Most of the game sales, the bulk, happen in like the first 2 months, first 2 to 3 months. The first month especially is where you really get the bulk of your sales. It's not like, oh yeah, 6 months later the game goes on sale and that's where all their sales came from. Odyssey didn't sell more than any OG AC titles first week. Okay, here, let me ask you this. Haven't they done this with every single Assassin's Creed game, therefore nullifying your claim? Haven't they all gone on sale later? I feel like that's something they've done for a long time. I feel like that's something that Ubisoft games commonly do. They go on sale later. Wouldn't that then therefore mean they're all fighting a fair fight? Did they do that with Unity? Did they do that with Syndicate? Did they do that with Black Flag? Do we know how long those games were at full price? I believe Ubisoft just does this with all of their titles, meaning it's a fair fight. If they're all doing the same thing, Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla being the 3 most commercially successful is not attributed to the sale of it later, since they've done that with all of their titles. You would have to definitively prove that AC 1 all the way to Unity, they never did sales after the fact, because those sales, according to your logic, would add a bunch of illegitimate, quantity push. It's like it's pushing the quantity higher by being on sale. Well, if they've done that with all their AC games up to now, then it's a fair fight. They're all playing the same game. Ubi is notorious for doing this with almost all of their games. Yeah, I don't think, again, I don't think you've made a compelling argument. I think it's far more likely, okay? It's far more likely that Origins and Odyssey and Valhalla struck a chord with the larger gaming market. The embargo's up in 2 hours, roughly. The gaming market has said, we like these. They buy them. They've played them. Valhalla has been their most commercially successful. Like, the revenue it's generated even after the fact with all of their additive content, it's been incredibly successful. That's not, you're going to claim that that's just because it went on sale? Come on. That doesn't seem to be like a very strong argument to say, well, yeah, AC Valhalla generated all this money with its additive content and its ongoing nature because they did a sale once. It's like, that doesn't, I don't think that tracks. That seems very flimsy to me. That seems pretty, like a pretty flimsy argument. I don't think you can reduce a game's success down to going on sale. Like, because every game goes on sale for the most part, except for like Nintendo games. They probably got them when they went on sale a year later, played a few hours, and never went back. There's no way for you to know that. And again, if a game sells 20 million copies, I got news for you. The bulk of those titles selling did not happen a year later because it was on sale. That's not how this works. It's not how this works. If that was a cheat code that companies could employ, they would do it every time, and we would see the same result every time. You'd see a really big title, and then a year later it would go on sale, and then it would just go crazy and sell like nuts. And then to be able to say, well, our game sold 20 million copies. You know, we use that 12-month later sale cheat code that AC Valhalla used. I had my earbuds out, but I could see Loney flailing his hands, so I had to guess what he was scolding you about. I don't know anyone's games that drop in price like Ubisoft games. Okay, let's just take Ubisoft then, Amskin. Wouldn't that then therefore mean that all Ubisoft games should be selling the same way? Shouldn't they all be in the tens and 20 millions like Odyssey, Origins, and Valhalla? Shouldn't they all be hitting those thresholds if they're always going on sale later, if that's all you have to do to hit high thresholds of sales? Look at the trophies and the achievements, and you'll be able to see the attach rate on all AC games. Look at any game, and you'll be mystified. This will really shock you, Christopher Games. This will really shock you that like most games, like what is it? What's the numbers, guys? Isn't it like 15% on average actually roll credits on the games that they buy? It's actually not a strong number. It's not. It's not unique to Assassin's Creed. It's also a little unfair because Valhalla and Odyssey are enormous games, and that's going to work against completion percentages severely. That's severely going to work against completion percentages. That would be like looking at completion percentages of like Breath of the Wild and being like, I guess people thought it sucked. It's like, it's a huge game, and a lot of people tap out. I don't see why we wouldn't be asking for that. What the heck is wrong with people offering their game for sale? Well, I think the claim is that it's a reductionist claim. It's like, well, this is the only reason it sold well. It's very reductionist to say that, well, yeah, here that this is what. Why are you just spamming proof? The word proof isn't proof. You need actual proof. Did someone tell you the way to win the argument is to put proof in chat, and so you just are putting the word proof? No proof has been provided. Go to the link. You can't post links. You can't post links. AC Shadows looks peak. Sick of fake outrage. Thank you for the 2-spot, Dark City. It was $29.99 December of 2018. Oh, okay. We still don't think that that's a compelling argument. I'll tell you what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. You're free to think that. I don't agree with you. I don't think games hit commercial success of 10 million copies sold, or in the case of Valhalla, 20 million. I don't think you get to that level of quantity just by putting your game on sale. I think your argument is very, very weak and not compelling at all. Lots of games go on sale. Lots of discounts happen. Steam's doing sales all of the time. There was a big PlayStation sale last month, and you didn't suddenly see games getting into the tens and 20 millions of copies. I think your argument's weak. You're free to think it. I don't agree. I'm not compelled. You won't even go look at the proof. I'm taking your word for it. I don't care. I don't think it's compelling. I believe you. I believe that the game went on sale. I don't care. I don't think that that's why the game sold well. That's not compelling because So many other games do that. They go on discounts. They have Black Friday sales. There are Steam sales. There was a big PlayStation sale recently. You don't see games suddenly skyrocketing and like, well, it wasn't selling well, but now it's at 10 million. It's like, come on. And a single gifted from DK Bager. And a 5-bomb comes in from Terminal Stupidity. We got a little member train starting right now. 173. We're 2 away from me owing some members. Listen, you're free to come here, Tyler, and share your opinions and your arguments. You've been respectful. I don't find your argumentation to be compelling. I just don't. $29.99 in December of 2018. I think he's talking about Odyssey, not Origins. Free to think it, but you won't go look. I'm not denying you don't seem to be able to listen. I'm not discrediting you. I am accepting your claim that the game went on sale. Does that sentence make sense to you? Are you listening or do you have me on mute? I don't need to go look at the article. I'm accepting your claim. I'm not saying that your claim is false. I'm saying your argumentation is not compelling. You're claiming that a game was commercially successful because it went on sale 3 months later. I don't find that compelling. And a 5-bomb comes in from Timmy. And there we go. 178. I owe you guys some members. I'm going to hold off and see if we can hit 200 really fast. And then I'll drop a 10-bomb. These are great days to gift members because there's lots of new folks here. 39 months from Blue Art. Thank you so much. That gets us to 179. First of all, I can't see your link, homie. You can't post links in the YouTube chat. I don't see your link. So you're missing that very, very severe problem with what you're trying to do. Second, it's not compelling because it doesn't do that for any other game. First you were saying the claim was false. Now you're saying it's not compelling because you disagree with it. I asked you for evidence. We asked for evidence. You said that all 3 games went on sale for $20 3 months later. And you have found evidence to support that for Odyssey. It's not true. You weren't able to substantiate that for Origins or Valhalla. I'm literally giving you evidence. You're giving me evidence for one of the games. You understand that you claimed, I don't think you understand how argumentation works, right? You claimed that all 3 of those games did well because 3 months later they were on sale for $20. I looked up for Odyssey because it was the worst one. Origins was fire. Well, we agree. Valhalla was bleh. Okay, Tyler, we agree. I'm wearing Bayek. Origins is my favorite one. Let's be friends, okay? Listen to me. I don't think look at Valhalla. Valhalla is the most successful of the 3. I don't think Valhalla got to where it got because it went on sale. That to me doesn't track. I'm granting you the point. I said, listen, let's just take your claim at face value so we can move on. Yeah, they went on sale rather quickly. Who cares when and by how much? I don't think that's why Valhalla's at the level that it's at. I think people liked it. I'm backing up my claim. I don't care about your claim. I'm worried about your assertion. Your assertion is that the sale is the causality to the popularity. I don't find that compelling. I'm granting your claim of the sale. I'm granting this, okay? We can move on from that. We don't need to look at articles. I'm granting your claim. Went on sale quickly. You are then asserting that that's a causality to Valhalla's very, very significant success and popularity. And I'm like, I don't think that that's compelling because so many games go on sale. There's sales all the time in the industry. Not every game that goes on sale goes on to see what Valhalla has seen. 20 million copies sold. Their greatest revenue generating game to date. It's look at how much content they've added to Valhalla. Do you think they're doing that because the game was in demand and commercially successful? Think about it. Just ask the question, why would they add so much content to Valhalla? I mean, they've added a lot. A lot. Why would you do that? If internally they knew, well, the game's not really popular, it only sold a bunch of copies because it went on sale, they wouldn't do that then. They wouldn't invest more money in the game like that. None were on sale for $20 3 months later. Sales help boost sales. They don't explain them in total. This is basic stuff. I'm just saying people will check out a game if it's half price. I haven't beaten an AC game since Origins and before that Black Flag. You said people want RPG AC and that's not true. Homie, AC Origins is the beginning of the change. What are you talking about? I think people like games like this, even if they don't finish them. See, you're creating a false dichotomy where they either finish the game and like it or don't finish the game and don't like it. No, there's room for in between here. Origins was the beginning of the new era for Assassin's Creed. I think it's the best Assassin's Creed they've ever made. I loved it. In second place, I put Black Flag. It sounds like you and I are very similar in our opinions. I think Odyssey and Valhalla were too dense. I just couldn't do it. I'm like, this is a Mount Everest-sized game. I don't have time for this. At the time with Odyssey, I was playing, and Valhalla, I was primarily a Destiny player and streamer, and so I couldn't play a game like that. I just didn't have time. So to me, you're looking at like completion rates of larger games. Like Odyssey and Valhalla are so much bigger than Origins, and you're looking at completion percentages. I think you're coming to a false conclusion that, oh, people didn't like Valhalla and Odyssey. I don't know. If that were true, I don't think they'd have been adding all that content to them. I don't think they would have. I think they did because people were in there. People were spending money. People were engaging with the content. Valhalla was pushed harder because Ubisoft was in denial. The sales lasted for years. Okay. I think you're missing the point. I think he is trying to say it may have helped lead to its success. A game on sale is encouraging. No. No. He wasn't saying that it helped. He was saying it was the cause. He was literally saying it was the cause. He was like, this is why these games sold well. And I'm like, I don't agree with that at all. A very good point made by Paul. Are we just overlooking AC went for a live service light model with the newer games? It gives people a reason to pick it up for years versus release only. I certainly think that has helped, Paul. I do. I think that has helped. It's a very, very nuanced ball of wax. It's not like, well, those games suck and they only did well because they went on sale. Like, that was kind of the argumentation. I mean, he just said a second ago that, like, Odyssey and Valhalla were, I don't want to put words in his mouth. I think he said trash. I'm like, Jiminy Christmas. They did very well. And to say, well, they only did well because they went on sale? Come on. I think if you look at Mirage, didn't Mirage go on sale? How much is it to buy Mirage right now? How much? It's 60% off on Steam. AC Mirage is $20 right now instead of $50. Why hasn't Mirage sold like crazy? Answer me that. Riddle me this, Batman. This is what started the entire discussion. I said, I think AC Mirage, compared to the success of Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla, proves more people like the newer style versus the old style. And Mirage proves my point. It's $20 right now. Why isn't Mirage flying off the shelves at the degree that Odyssey and Valhalla did? I hate to do this to you. I really do. I think this is a bit of a checkmate. AC Mirage is $20 right now. It should be doing the same thing according to your logic. According to your argumentation, Mirage should be at the same sales thresholds as Valhalla and Odyssey. It's $20. It's $20. It's like that right there should show you and prove that, like, just going on sale doesn't automatically lead to a bunch of people buying the game. Yeah, and it's a smaller game. It'd be easier to buy Mirage and complete it. I think time to complete in that game is in the 20-hour threshold. Steam has shelves now. Yeah, where's the review? The title of this stream is Waiting Room. The reviews go live in 2 hours. They're all free with PlayStation Plus. Should be no reason for people to get it. Valhalla came out during Sicky. People did not have anything to do. Sales went up. Most games that came out during Sicky did really well. Oh, listen, I'll concede that it helped, but I don't think it's the reason it did. I mean, it is so much stronger than all of the other titles. I think you need to go back. I think we're forgetting something. And this is why I think AC Shadows is going to do just fine. Reviews are in 2 hours. I think you need to go back and remember, dude, the Valhalla trailer, it cooked. That frickin' trailer, Jabe, yes. The review they're in 2 hours. You can ask one time. You just type it once and wait. Just keeps asking. Jiminy Christmas. Valhalla was mid. I'm talking about the marketing. Homie, you've got to remember, Valhalla, people were hyped for that game. Do you remember that frickin' cinematic with the Vikings storming the beach and he gets the wrist blade to the face? That frickin' trailer cooked. It was dope. People were stoked. I agree, Ubisoft knows how to market their games. They don't know how to make them anymore. Okay, that's a subjective debate then, right? We were talking about sales and impact and commercial success. That's more objective. I'm not going to try to convince you Valhalla's a great game. I've not had time for it. I'm kind of jealous. I look at the game from afar and I'm like, man, I could have got a lot out of that game. I don't have freaking time, man. I don't have time. Listen, if you guys are just tuning in, this is what we do on this channel. Lively, spirited debate. We keep it respectful. I think it's entertaining. I appreciate Tyler just getting in the ring and debating me with this morning. It's fun. If you like this kind of content, be sure to hit subscribe. Make sure your bell button is set to all. Some of you guys, your bell button gets switched to personalized and then you don't see my content. Take a quick second, everybody right now, take a really quick second and help me with something. Hit the like button. Let's just go nuts on the like button and make sure it saves your like. Sometimes it doesn't. Let's go crazy. That helps this video find more folks. We are going to do another stream, a second stream where we just look at the reviews. That's going to be a review roundup. This is a review waiting room. We like to do this. We hang out every day. If you want to support the channel directly, I do morning coffee every morning with members, and I end the day in the green room. You have to be a paying member for that. Hit join, pick member plus. I know YouTube audiences don't do that. I know that's very weird. That's very much like Twitch. But I do a lot of extra content for paying members. That's how I do this full time. I am a full-time content creator and streamer, and it's because of a support base that supports the channel directly. So there's my little station identification. Keep smashing the heck out of that like button. Let's try to hit 300 likes. Let's see that. Let's see the likes roll over. Metacritic will drop in 2 hours. What was the last good game that Ubisoft made? You know what's crazy is that Avatar would have been incredible if Far Cry didn't exist. Like, it really would have been. Like, Avatar was beautiful. It was one of the best looking games that year. It was gorgeous. But it was like, it was just, I got so far in and I was like, that's why everybody called it Far Cry, Blue Far Cry. Yeah, the Prince of Persia and the Lost Crown, that is one of the best Metroidvanias I have played since Ori and the Will of the Wisps and Ori and the Blind Forest. Prince of Persia was so stinking good. I loved it. The combat system in that game has got to be one of the best I've seen put into like a Metroidvania side-scroller. Guys, double check the like count. It didn't roll over. I need that to roll over to 300 likes. There's so many of you here. Valhalla was sick. Aside from Black Flag, it's the only AC game I enjoyed. Prince of Persia was one of the most underrated games. I would have loved if it would have gotten a little bit more attention at the Game Awards last year, but that genre is just harder, I think, to get the momentum needed. About the time I found Lono on Twitch was when he abandoned his Assassin's Creed community. That's right. That's right. And guys, today is a great day to go crazy with gifted members. It's a great day for subscriptions. Holy crap, a bunch of you have hit subscribe. Thank you so much. We do uploads here. We do live streams here. We do members content here. We do a lot. We do a lot of content here. So get plugged in. If you become a member, also make sure to get into the Discord. Sucks that they canned Immortals Phoenix Rising. I thought Immortals Phoenix Rising would have done better if the name wasn't so stupid. You know, what was it again? Well, it was originally Gods and Monsters, wasn't it? Yeah, the frickin' name was terrible. And DK Beggar might tempt a big boy to step up to the plate. He bumps the member goal for the week to 180, a 20 bomb to 200, and I owe you guys 10 members if that happens. You already agreed AC games go on sale super fast. I'm just tired of pretending Odyssey and Valhalla sold copies. If they did as well as the numbers indicate, Ubisoft wouldn't be going bankrupt. That is, again, that's horrible argumentation. You understand that Ubisoft is probably one of the biggest gaming companies in the world, and AC cannot carry the company. Do you have any idea how just... I'm so trying to be respectful here. That is just so uninformed to think that if AC was doing as well as they claim, they wouldn't be going bankrupt. Homie, do you have any idea how big Ubisoft is? Like, Ubisoft is not in the state that they are because of like, oh, AC Shadows could have saved them. Or I'm sorry, AC as a franchise should have been able to save them. That's not... It's one of many franchises that they own. They've had a lot of things not go well. They've had a lot of things not have commercial success. I don't see any data saying Mirage didn't sell well. I just argued that it sold less. It sold significantly less than Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla. And to his point, it went on sale. So why didn't it sell as well? What's your answer to that? Skull and Bones, agree. Star Wars Outlaws, agree. Previous AC... Okay. You're making this really easy, Tyler. I appreciate the fact that you are still in here fighting on this. You just proved it. Skull and Bones, Star Wars Outlaws, and then we got AC Origins, Odyssey, Valhalla, and then we've got AC Mirage. All of those games sold very differently. They've all and AC Mirage is $20 right now. Why has AC Mirage not sold to the degree that Odyssey and Valhalla did? You argued that that's why they had sold so well. Don't forget Avatar. Yeah, Avatar. So why have we not seen Mirage and all these other games sell well? Like, why? Going on sale is apparently all you have to do. Mirage wasn't marketed as much. I think that's a fair point. It wasn't marketed as much, but still, I think it's because they knew the market demand was lower. I think they knew that market demand was lower for Mirage. Has he ever heard of bell curve in marketing? Everything goes through that cycle. Assassin's Creed is the top moneymaker. The audience for Ubisoft, despite the like to dislike ratio, still got them record-breaking pre-orders. Now, in terms of quality, that's subjective. Wish they nailed Watch Dogs. Miss DJ says, there's the argument. He just does not like the games Ubisoft comes out with. He just said it. According to reports, Mirage sold 5 million plus copies, and it hasn't even been out 2 years. Okay, right. So, to his point saying, AC Valhalla went on sale a year later. He was attributing the fact that AC Valhalla is sitting at 20 million sales because it went on sale. That would mean Mirage, entering its second year, it should be selling way more because it's on sale. The logic doesn't track. If dropping your game to $20 makes your game sell like crazy, why is Mirage not selling like crazy to the degree that we've seen Odyssey and Valhalla? The logic doesn't track. It doesn't make any sense. It's like, if that's all you have to do, then Mirage would be selling just as much. It's an Assassin's Creed game. It has brand recognition. It's a return to form for the Assassin's Creed franchise, and it's currently on sale for $20. Because it's not a full game? I don't think Shadows will sell more. Shadows was tracking with Odyssey on pre-orders. Odyssey's the second most commercially successful Assassin's Creed game. Why isn't Suicide Squad selling like crazy? That's what I'm saying. Like, tons of games go on sale. If they're bad, they don't sell well. No one's like, well, it's on sale, I guess I'll buy this pile of crap. Like, come on, man. Maybe, just maybe, there's a lot of people that liked games that you didn't like. Maybe Valhalla and Odyssey, people enjoyed them. Maybe people actually enjoyed them, and going on sale certainly helped them. But like, this happens all of the time. Like, this isn't some new thing that they're doing that, like, yeah, we're gonna make it seem like Valhalla and Odyssey are successful when they're really not. We'll put them on sale. If he was right, every game would sell 20 million copies, and they don't. That's the question you have to answer, Tyler. Why are Valhalla and Odyssey the exception? Because Ubisoft games go on sale like this all of the time. That's literally what normal people do. If a game goes on sale, that's the time to buy. Okay, Tyler, according to your logic then, Mirage should be selling like crazy. All Ubisoft games go on sale, and so that's when they should all be selling just as much as Valhalla and Odyssey. The question you have to answer is, why did Odyssey and Valhalla do better in that structure of going on sale later? Why did they do better? Why do you think that happened? So in the argument, the constant is Ubisoft puts their games on sale. That's a constant. So they all get that treatment. You have to ask the question, why did Valhalla and Odyssey fare better? Why did they perform better in that equation? What's your answer? I've nullified your causality argument. I've nullified it because they all go on sale and they all don't hit 10 and 20 million because those games have been out longer. No. Okay. Origins went on sale. Why did Valhalla sell better than Origins? You liked Origins. I liked Origins. We both played Origins and loved it. Why did Valhalla sell better than Origins? Origins has been out longer. Why? You're going to have to twist your noodle on that one. It doesn't make any sense, does it? They both went on sale and one's been out longer. Because the intro to Origins was worse. Oh my gosh. So people bought Valhalla in greater numbers because they somehow knew the intro to Origins was worse? No, I've not finished Death Stranding yet. I'm 20 hours in. And I'm freaking hooked. I'm building roads now. Homie, listen to what you're saying. You're saying that people bought Valhalla twice as much because they somehow knew that Origins had a bad start? Hidden One says this is funny to listen to. Yo, what's good, Hidden One? How are you? Good to see you in the chat. He's clearly a troll. I don't think he's a troll. He's too passionate to be a troll. Trolls lack passion. They're just like trying to stir up trouble. I think he's passionate. I think he really liked Origins. I think he's really likes the AC franchise. And for him, and a lot of people think this, Odyssey and Valhalla were such a big departure, they didn't like them. And so it's hard to see those games do so well commercially because it's like, I think it's frustrating for them. Right? I think it's frustrating as a fan. They're like, no, those were bad games. A lot of people seem to like them. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. If we go to AC Valhalla Steam, let's go to the Steam store, and then let's go to AC Valhalla PlayStation store. Let's just look at the user scores of these games. It did not do well on Steam. It only has a 70%. PlayStation, it has an 82. It seemed to fare better on PlayStation. Now, Origins, probably playing an averages game. Law of averages here, right? Law of large numbers. I bet you Origins has less votes. Origins has a 90, and it has less votes, 54,000. People agree with you, Tyler. People agree with you, Tyler. Valhalla didn't score as well as Origins. The users seem to agree with you, but when you have more reviews, it's harder to maintain a score, right? Valhalla sold more copies, so it's exposed to more people. So the likelihood of maintaining a good score goes down when you have 15,000 more review scores in there. But the audience agrees with you. They do. That doesn't take away from the commercial success of the game, though. If anything, Origins kind of supports my notion. Origins was the change and got everybody more interested in Assassin's Creed, and then after Origins, Odyssey sold more, Valhalla sold more. There's like this upward swing of, I just think you have people coming in and playing more. Law of large numbers says the more votes you get, the more the noise should cancel out and the truer the signal should be. Doesn't that also mean that you're also going to struggle to maintain a higher score? Because it's just, well, I guess I'm probably invoking that phrase incorrectly then. It wouldn't be law of large numbers. It would be, I don't know. It would be the greater the quantity, the harder it is to maintain a score. Fan opinions is a big factor. The RPG mechanic is what brought more people, in my opinion. I think the upward swing of commercial success is, again, I attribute that to the Switch. I think that they pulled more people in because now it wasn't like this slow-moving stealth game. AC Odyssey scored the best. It has a 90 and it has 80,000. See? I think the argument is struggling a little bit because AC Odyssey 80,000 and it's got a 90% on PlayStation. That's a really good user score. Origins 54,000. And then Valhalla, again, Valhalla didn't fare as well. I do think this is the most divisive of the three. I think Valhalla is the most divisive of the three. I think a lot of people did not like this one nearly as much as Origins and Odyssey, because Origins and Odyssey are like lock in step on the user score, and then Valhalla slips. I think because I think Valhalla is more divisive to people. It felt like the least Assassin's Creed game with like the rating and all of that. It didn't feel like you could play Origins almost. Not the entire time, but a lot of Origins you could play very much like a classic AC game. Sneaking around, climbing around. It had more of the classic. It wasn't a classic AC game, but it had more of the DNA. Valhalla didn't have as much of the DNA because of the structure of how you like fought and attacked and went in and raided. Valhalla has more bloat. Yeah, I also think there's always a tipping point with those games. There's always a tipping point. There's a tipping point of like, if a game's just too big, it's almost like dauntingly discouraging. You're like, I can't play this. It's too big. Odyssey had no DNA, though. People seem to like it. I don't know what to tell you, Self. Do yourself a favor, go to Metacritic, type in Assassin's Creed. It's way down on the list of the best AC games. I think user score is the better barometer. I do. I think it's a better barometer. AC Valhalla having an 82 on PlayStation, I think that's a very solid score for a game that has sold so many copies. Like, when you sell that many copies, it's hard to keep a good score. It really is. If your game maintains a high score and it's like selling, 20 million, that's impressive. My other account doesn't get the member. I don't know what you're talking about. What range of review? I've been saying mid to low 80s. Yeah, if it lands in the mid 80s, I think that's a huge win for the game. I don't think AC Shadows can save Ubisoft. I'll say that. Ubisoft's troubles are pretty significant. Wait, Omar says, hey, I need a mod to get my renewal to count on the member goal. Wait, did I not count you, Omar? Sorry, we were in the midst of a debate. Oh, I'm so sorry. Omar with 35 months. I've seen Odyssey on sale on Steam many times. I own it. It definitely was not $5.99 that first year. if it was 15 last year during the big sales. And thank you so much, Omar. Let me bump the line by 1. And guys, smash that like button, man. What a huge turnout. In an hour and 45 minutes, we're gonna be checking out the reviews. We are gonna be checking out the reviews. Sorry, Omar. We were in the midst of a debate. Off topic, there's a rumor that PlayStation secured a marketing deal for a big game. What game do you think it is? GTA 6. Look at AC Valhalla. 180 hours for completion is completely ridiculous. The discussion about games being too big is an interesting one, because sometimes I wonder if is the era of games like that coming to an end, or are they just going to be less frequent? Like, I'm looking forward to continuing to play Death Stranding, but I'm also thinking, I'm seeing a lot of people say, oh, I'm going to try to get into it because of your stream, Lono. I'm going to try to get into it. And I'm thinking, I hope you're prepared. Death Stranding is dense. Like, it's going to take a long time for me to finish, even if I straight line it. Haseo gifts a member. It's a great day to gift members, guys, when the view count is high and there's lots of new people here. Let's expose them to what we do. We do a lot of members content, a lot of generosity here. When this hits 200, I'm going to drop a 10 bomb on chat. I gift back. Super chats can do that as well. If you guys can't do memberships or super chats, man, hit subscribe, set bell button to all, and do me a favor. Everybody right now, check that like button. Make sure it's saving your like. And another gifted comes in from Haseo, and he bumps the line to 183. Thank you so much. Haseo's doing his own member train. You pre-ordered? Nice. What is this payment confirmation text for? Oh, AT&T. Apparently I'm getting fiber in my neighborhood. They're like, you need to call and set up an appointment to get new equipment. I'm like, I didn't see y'all run fiber. What are y'all selling here? Like, I didn't see y'all run it. I would have seen you in my backyard and my front yard. I don't know. It feels like a scam. It's just a walking sim. Yeah, that's all you do. Mm-hmm. You never reach Conan? Do you have any excitement for Shadows? Assassin's Creed Shadows is one of my top anticipated games this year. It is. Yeah. And a 5 bomb comes in from Salman. I'm sorry, not Salman. From Haseo. I was reading Salman's comment. And gets us to 188. Haseo is just doing his own train here, being generous to the community. What does your gut say about AC Shadows review score? I think it's landing in the mid-80s. It's on fiber on the poles. They just use cat on the inside of your house. If they did stuff on the poles, I have no idea how they did it without me seeing it. I have a camera in my backyard. Sometimes I snooze the ring because it'll keep going off. So it's possible I snooze the ring and I miss them doing it. They're promising insane speeds. I'm like, what the frick? When did you guys run fiber? Haseo with another gifted member, and he bumps the line to 189. I think Haseo's trying to tempt somebody to do a 10-bomb dunker with him. I think he's going to set this to 190. Somebody help out our boy Haseo. There he goes. There we go. Joker Quinn makes it an Agent of Chaos 10 bomb. If anybody does it, I'm doing a 10 bomb as well. And then we get a VIP renewal from Victor for 46 months. Add this to the count, and wow, time just keeps flying by. Biggie Smalls with 22 months says, I put 324 hours into Valhalla and finished it, all with the extra content. Loved every minute of it. And then a gifted from Delta Boss. And then a renewal from Eugene, 42 months. Walk this over to the goal. That's 4 more. That gets us to 195. Another setup for a dunk or a 5 bomb would bring us home to 200, and then I owe you guys 10, and keep smashing the like button. Let's roll the likes over to 400. If Valhalla was cut in half, it would be such a good game. And Haseo renews his membership. Glad to be here doing my part. I appreciate it. I really, really do. And another member plus renewal from Vendetta and gets us to 197. So many renewals. Fiber is buried underground, not above. It uses light. I think they've been putting them on the poles. They've been putting fiber on the poles because they couldn't get the permits to dig. There was a 5-year build order for fiber in my city, and it got stalled out every time. And a 5 bomb comes in from Hex, and that's an agent of chaos, and it puts us at 202. Thank you so much, rolling us right past 200. And I owe you guys a 10 bomb. They ran it on the poles in your area. Yeah, I think they started just putting it on the poles because the digging was a freaking disaster. They would either do it wrong or it wouldn't work or the lines would degrade over time. I think they've just been putting it on the poles. We had reps coming into the shop for almost 6 months promising fiber before it was actually installed. When the crew was outside and finished the install, we asked if it was actually live. That's when we finally switched. Yeah, they're telling me by May if I don't switch my equipment, I'll lose service. So they've got to be doing something. Maybe they haven't done it in my neighborhood yet. Maybe they're just letting us know it's coming and you're going to need to switch your equipment because it gave me a date. It said by May something, if I don't switch, I'll lose service. So I'm assuming that maybe they haven't even done it yet. Haseo Gifts, another one. It's the way to go. I would love to stream on fiber. I would probably boost my bitrate even higher than it currently is. We're trying to get back over there on Twitch. We're trying to get back over there. They have a policy now about like getting reinstated and things dropping off, and it's like, well, it's been 5 years, man. Let's go. I'll come back over there. You know, I'm streaming both places. We can't get more than a gigabit around here, and I'm annoyed by that. My cable is that high. Guys, we need 20 more likes to roll it over, man. Do your due diligence when you come in, man. Do that ritual. You come into the stream, you hit like, you say good morning. Noberto's talking in the members-only Discord. He said, I wouldn't jump the gun until you see the crews outside. It's not a quick process, and you'll know when it's actually installed. Yeah. I'm waiting. What are your speeds? The speeds that I can get on the fiber that they're promising me is like 1, 2, and 5 gig. I'm like, what the frick? Why can't you stream on Twitch? I've got banned like 5 years ago over a bunch of bogus nonsense, and they would never answer me. So it's like now they're going through this like, well, we'll reinstate people and offenses drop off, and it's like, okay, I never even broke TOS, so 1 gig up and 1 down here. I don't stream on the cable. I don't stream on the cable because it's inconsistent. I stream on the AT&T. It's slower, but it's more stable, so I don't have any drop frames or anything like that. Yeah, I emailed him. I emailed him Kratopsy, and he replied. And so I'm kind of waiting now. I'm waiting. It's all pending. It's just sitting there pending. I'm like, well, can you figure out why it's pending? So trying to get an answer. What about AC Mirage? Like, is it as good? I played the opening of AC Mirage. I think I got like 2 hours in, and I have it on my backlog. I feel like I wanted to roll credits on it, but its score has me a little tepid. Now, its Steam score is pretty bad. Let's see how it did on PlayStation. I think the PlayStation user base is usually pretty lock-in step with what I think. Like, if I go to the PlayStation Store and a game has a good score, AC Mirage has like a 3.9. That's a pretty weak score for PlayStation, if I'm honest. That's a pretty weak score. That's not very strong. Like, I like playing games as much as the next guy, but man, when the user score is that tepid, I'm usually hesitant. Like, Death Stranding has like a 92. Death Stranding Director's Cut has also a 92. And I'm loving the game way more than I thought I ever would. I genuinely can't believe how hooked I am. It's crazy to me. Combat with Shadow seems kind of meh. What I remember hearing from GJX, and I thought his preview was very good. GJX said, if you're expecting it to be on the level of like Ghost of Tsushima or Sekiro, you're going to be disappointed. But he said it was the best combat in an AC game that he had played, which I thought was pretty high praise. Because I thought the combat in Odyssey was pretty cool, and I thought the combat in Origins was solid. How far are we in Death Stranding now? I don't know. 20 hours, and I'm building roads. I'm freaking hooked. I'm trying to get the roads all connected from the very first place in the second area all the way down across to a timefall farm or something. I'm trying to get those roads all connected. Combat in Mid-Shima is boring. Did you just call Ghost of Tsushima Mid-Shima? Listen, I don't ban people for their opinions, but you're pretty fucking close. No, I'm just kidding. Don't you ever call it Mid-Shima again. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But I'm kind of not kidding. Anyway, yeah, Sekiro's combat system is perfection. Yeah, Sekiro's combat is, I think it's the best melee-based combat game ever made. Mid-Shima passes the vibe check. How in the world can you call that game mid? Oh my gosh. How can you... Oh my gosh. You're just trying to trigger me. That game is so good. You're nuts. You're nuts, bro. Jiminy Christmas. Haven't heard that one before. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say mid about Tsushima. When's the embargo? Hour and a half from now. He called D2 a walking simulator 2. Time to just ignore his takes on games. Yeah. Oh, he called Death Stranding 1. Yeah. My entire thing with Shadows and AC games in general at this point is probably a straw man. Be nice to me. Why play Shadows when Yotei is coming? That's not a straw man. A straw man is when you construct a bad argument on purpose to wail on it, right? So if I say that, you know, I really like Tsushima's combat because the 4 stances creates a moment-to-moment player volitional choice, which is very impactful, and it creates a level of fluidity as well as skill expression through your awareness. And I go through all the details of why I like Tsushima's combat, and you said, well, Reforge thinks that Tsushima's combat's good because there's swords in it. That's a straw man, right? You're making my argument look stupid on purpose so that you can wail on it. You've not constructed a straw man. Why play Shadows when Yotei is coming? I would say play Shadows when Yotei is coming because Yotei is probably very late in the year. Since Death Stranding is June, Yotei is probably somewhere in the September to November area, but they're waiting for GTA 6 to announce its release date. So I would also say they're completely different games. Like, I really don't think you're going to play Assassin's Creed Shadows and be like, this is just a Tsushima knockoff. Like, none of the previews indicated that that was the case. The combat seems very, very different. The flow of the game, the purpose of the game, you know, the fact that you can play as a big brute of a samurai, so he's not going to feel like Jin Sakai, or in this case in Yotei, I forget her name. You're not going to feel like those characters at all. And Naue doesn't move or act at all like Jin. She's very much ninja, like agile, no armor, sneaky, and fast. So that would be my response. Give me 1 second. On PC, you won't play Yotei year 1? Oh, is somebody saying they're just going to wait and play Yotei on PC? I mean, go for it. Yeah, I mean, if that's where you play, Tsushima was a great port on PC. Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima was a great port on PC. If that's where you prefer to play, yeah, and you're happy to wait, then yeah, wait. I don't see a reason to. The keyboard sounds crisp. They provided me with a link. I need to do that. I need to do a promotional segment for this keyboard. They provided me a link for you guys where I would get commission if you order one. It's a magnetic Hall effect keyboard. Please put a timer for review time. No, I'm not going to do that. It's an hour and a half. All you got to do is look at the clock. I mean, it's 11:30 my time. Whatever 30 it is your time, it's an hour and a half from now. You don't need a timer on screen. You just need a clock. Silent Merc with 17 months. Welcome back in. Yote this year? Yeah, Yote's coming this year. There have been some listen, the source of like fear about like Yote's getting delayed or something, it's all coming from people who deal in fan fiction. There is literally no reason to think it's delayed. They just announced it for 2025 at the end of last year. So between now and what? The rumors about it getting delayed started in like January. You have to see how stupid that is. You think that they trotted out a trailer at the end of 2024 and like a month later they're like, oh, it's getting delayed. Like, listen, this thing with PlayStation games, we have been here before. The people that are trying to tell you and create fear and uncertainty and doubt, that's called FUD. They're trying to make you think, yeah, PlayStation's got no games and Yote's getting delayed. Listen, they did the exact same thing with Spider-Man 2. They did the exact same thing with God of War Ragnarok. I lost count how many times I had diehard bleed green Xbox fans assuring me that Ragnarok had been delayed. I'm like, they said the game's fully playable. The guy from the art department said he had played it. This guy from this department said his kid was playing it, and you think it's getting delayed. Yup, it's getting delayed. It's getting delayed. You know where those people are? They don't come back anymore. They don't. They struck out too many times. They hung their head and left. They would come in here and they would drive that stupid narrative that like every PlayStation game is getting delayed because we didn't have a release date. And it was like, we don't have release dates for lots of games. We don't always say, well, that means it's getting delayed. Again, this is the third time they've tried this. Every time PlayStation's got a banger on the horizon, we got to listen to these brain-dead takes about like, it's getting delayed. Why? Oh, just cause. Oh, okay, that's compelling. They said the exact same thing about Spider-Man 2, and they did the exact same thing with Ragnarok, and they were wrong, and they're going to be wrong this time. You don't get a trailer ready for the Game Awards and put it all together and get your marketing team on it and put 2025 in there and then be like a month later be like, yeah, we screwed up, it's actually going to get delayed. Like the time it takes to put those trailers together and plan all that out, that marketing plan, that doesn't happen like by accident. I think a lot of these guys think that like these companies like whipping up these trailers and shoving them out there, and it's like, maybe it's because Xbox has consistently done it, and that's just what they've come to assume, right? It's baked into their schema of expectations that, like, Microsoft constantly trots out trailers and roadmaps, and they never hit their target dates. So maybe that's why they expect it to happen. They're projecting their expectations, from Xbox onto PlayStation because it happened with Fable, it happened with Avowed, it happened with Forza Motorsport, it happened with Starfield. Maybe that's just their expectation now, is that I'm constantly given trailers and promises and roadmaps that never show up on time, so surely PlayStation's doing the same thing. That's the only thing I could come up with. Maybe I don't know. We've been through this song and dance before. We have been through this song and dance before. This claim and this presumption that like PlayStation games are getting delayed. Okay. You said it about Ragnarok. I had people that were confident Ragnarok had been delayed. And then remember in the summer, remember the showcase? They did the 20-minute Spider-Man thing, and because there was no date, people are like, "Oh, it's getting delayed." I'm like, "Oh my gosh." So you think they put together a 20-minute gameplay showcase for a game that's getting delayed? And then a week later, Jeff Keighley, they gave the release date to him for Summer Game Fest. Oh, boy. Oh. You know what you sound like when you say Yote's getting delayed or that you've heard it getting delayed? You sound like the same buffoons that said that South of Midnight was race swapped. That's the kind of energy you're bringing. That's the kind of energy you're bringing. Sorry for this question. It's not about the topic of the video. Is there any news about GTA 6? I love you. No, there isn't. We covered that yesterday. Yo, J Hard 007 with the 5 bomb. What, you're gifting members and you don't have a membership yourself. That's wild work right there. That's so kind. Thank you for doing that. Listen. We covered this yesterday. The current theory is that the GTA 6 trailer 2 is coming on April the 1st, which I think would be just hilarious. Like, just drop the trailer on April Fool's Day. You know what I'm saying? And a 5 bomb from Behemoth. There it is. We got a 5 bomb train starting. Get on board. Sometimes this channel goes a little crazy with the gifteds. We could see the beginnings of one. Sometimes we'll get like 5 bomb, a bunch in a row. Oh no, people are saying blip. I don't have a blip on my end. Stream froze. Oh, for frick's sake. Come on, YouTube. Just refresh. I'm here. Nothing's happened. It's good now. We back. Okay. I don't know what YouTube's problem is lately, man. Yeah, I don't know. We're going to need a lot of likes and a lot of help. That always hurts the viewership. YouTube will interpret it as people leaving, and it isn't. It's just people having to refresh. So the view count goes way up and then back down, and YouTube will interpret that incorrectly. Blips are painful. Just a mini one? Okay. It was not on my end. I didn't drop frames or anything. My bit rate is solid. Yo, what's good, rockin' hard, dude? Haven't seen you in a while. Sony will let us know when they let us know. We created this climate when we collectively got all weird about everything they do, overanalyzing everything. Chris Coleman says, Xbox lies to their fans all the time. There are no consequences lying to the zealots. Look at how narratives change every time they speak. They're only obligated to tell the truth to the shareholders. Yeah, I mean, it's been interesting. J Hard jumps back in on a member light. If you want your memberships to count towards the goal, guys, and if you want to get into the daily Green Room stream, you got to be at Member Plus. So, J Hard, you need to bump up. They've updated the iPhone and the Android to make it easier to upgrade. You guys should be able to upgrade by going to my channel, go to the memberships tab, and then there should be an upgrade button there. Yo, what's good, Naberto? We're out here cooking with almost 1,000 viewers. Hit that like button and subscribe. Let's do it. Let's try to get to 500 likes. That blip is going to cause the view count to drop. My Metacritic prediction for AC Shadows is mid-80s. I think it's going to land in the mid-80s. If it lands in the high 80s or even comes close to 90, I will be shocked. I think it's got a lot going against it. I really do. There's a lot going against it. Can it be Thursday already? That's what I'm saying. Why do I keep seeing all of these, the grifters saying that Ubi are suing people who say bad things about Shadows? Okay, so that's a lie, Dan. And a lot of the people that are saying that, that's what they do. They deal in falsehood. They lie. A lot of these people have claimed things like Ghost of Yote was gender swapped or South of Midnight was race swapped. These are lies told by liars, right? I'm not supposed to throw around the word liar so much anymore, but I'm going to reserve it for people like that. They just straight up lie to the public, okay? So, here's the deal, okay? It's a $5 super chat from Timmy. I came as soon as I heard you were covering this review. Stop it. Reviews drop in like an hour and 20 minutes. So here's what they're going to do, okay? I'm predicting already the narrative armor is already in place. They're already lying, okay? So they've manipulated the entire situation to where they have targeted and they have harassed developers for over a year now. Any game that does something, right? Any game that does anything, they call DEI, Really, all they want, as I have coined the phrase, they just want everything to be me-ei. They want every game for them. So if the game is like, you know, if the woman's not hot and it's not a white guy, they're upset. And J Hard upgrades to Member Plus, and that's worth $215, tempting a 10 bomb to $225. Now listen. This is what they're doing. This is the narrative armor. All Ubisoft has said is that they will be monitoring socials. They've encouraged their employees to stay off social media because of these absolute losers who make everything a war. Everything is a war, and they're fighting and targeting and harassing people over video games, okay? Here's what's going to happen. These people are going to falsely claim that the only reason AC Shadows got good reviews is because people were scared of being sued. That's a lie. Ubisoft's not going to sue anybody for being critical of the game. If you publish a review on your website or on YouTube and you say you didn't like it, maybe you even say you disagree with Yasuke being in the game, and you're like, I really don't think it should have been Yasuke. I really think it should have been, a Japanese man. Okay, fine. You're not going to get sued for saying that. All Ubisoft is saying is they're monitoring the behavior of stuff happening on socials that goes too far. That's all they're saying. But these people are going to flip it around. They're going to lie, because that's what they do. They lie. And they're going to falsely represent and falsely frame, and they're going to claim, oh, the only reason that AC Shadows got a good score is because Ubisoft scared everybody. They scared everybody into not saying anything negative. That's not true. It isn't. It'll be really easy to prove it's not true. It'll be really easy to prove. Do you know what we have to do? All we have to do is find some negative reviews and see that those people don't get sued. And then you'll know there was no fear-mongering. There was no threat. There was no, veiled, you better give our game a good score. We're going to sue you. That would never, ever, ever work. It wouldn't. Those people are toxic. All they were doing is trying to destroy games before it even had a chance to release. Yeah, I'm telling you, the gaming populace, the global gaming populace at large, they don't give a frick about this stuff. They see AC Shadows, and they see a ninja and a samurai, and they can't frickin' wait to play. It's why it's doing well with pre-orders. Hang on, let's see something. Let's see. Right now, it is currently in 5th place on the top sellers on Steam. The reviews haven't even dropped yet. Look how much it changed. 41 positions. It moved 41 positions. It's hanging out up here with Monster Hunter Wilds and Counter-Strike 2. This is free to play. Steam Deck kind of doesn't really count. I don't know what in the world this is. Online co-op comedy multiplayer repo. This looks like something we should be checking out for a Hilly stream for once we're done with Split Fiction. The reviews haven't even dropped yet, and look at where the pre-orders are for AC Shadows. These are pre-orders. It's in 5th place on Steam, just off of pre-orders. It's number 1 on PlayStation. Yeah, I think the commercial success of the game is just going to be... Listen, I told you guys, going into 2025, I said all that anti-woke grifting nonsense, I said they're going to have to pick something else to talk about, because all their targets are bad targets. They went after Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Critically acclaimed, commercially successful. They went after Monhun Wilds, critically acclaimed, commercially successful. They went after Split Fiction, critically acclaimed, commercially successful. They've already struck out. They've already struck out. The whole thing, the whole movement, the whole meta is pathetic. It's pathetic. It's not in favor of anything good. It's just this anti-everything grift. And I'm telling you, I told you guys, I said they're going to pick a bunch of bad shots. Who's they? The whole anti-woke grift about every game that has a minority as the lead or a woman as a lead is woke trash. Like, and I'm telling you, they got really mad because Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 had gay romance options in it. They got really mad because Monhun Wild, you could put a beard on a woman. They got really mad and called Split Fiction lame and gay because there's 2 lead characters that were women. And look, they've all been incredibly successful. I'm telling you, I told you, I said they're going to pick a bunch of bad targets because they got real easy targets with Concord and Kill the Justice League. And now they're going to get real cocky and they're going to pick a bunch of bad targets. Not true. Heard hardly anything about those 3 games. Oh, then you weren't paying attention. I saw it in a bunch of places. I saw a lot of the usual suspects taking shots at those games. And they'll just move on to the next. When Kingdom Come Deliverance didn't work, what'd they do? Well, they moved on to Avowed. They're just going to keep moving, and they're hoping games do poorly. That's what they're hoping for. You know? They want those games to do poorly. They want them to do poorly. That's what they're cheering for. And if they do well, they just move on and stop talking about it. Now, AC Shadows is going to be different because Ubisoft has given them a weapon. Ubisoft has given them a weapon. I don't think Ubisoft should have said anything. I don't think Ubisoft should have said, we're going to be monitoring socials and our legal team is ready to take action and we want our staff to stay off of social. Like, I get that it got really toxic, but you got to understand, you just absolutely weaponized. You just gave these people a weapon. Now they can claim that every good review is just out of fear. Nobody wanted to say anything negative because they thought they were going to get sued by Ubisoft. You just gave people a weapon to perpetuate the grift and the lies. The criticism should not be covered when you consider that they probably... Yeah. I wonder if this group is pissed that GTA San Andreas, where San Fierro... Yeah, keeping your mouth shut, the solution. Look at the current Snow White debacle. I think Assassin's Creed Shadows is an easy target. Unless Shadows blows it out of the water, it will likely still be a win for them. Even good sales likely will be bad for Ubisoft. Well, I don't think Ubisoft can be saved by a single game. I think Ubisoft's problems are enormous, right? That's why they're trying to sell IP. I think Ubisoft, this is what's going to happen, and this is actually going to be pretty tragic. I think AC Shadows is going to be very commercially successful. It's going to be one of their better selling games. I don't think it's going to surpass Valhalla, but I think it's going to do well. And you know what's going to happen? They're going to sell the IP to somebody, and they're going to shutter a bunch of the studios that have worked on Assassin's Creed. That's what I think Ubisoft's going to do. I think Ubisoft is going to sell a bunch of IP to get a bunch of capital, and I think they're going to shutter a bunch of the studios. There's just too many studios, and I think they're struggling to get anybody to buy them because the operating cost is just too high. They've got too many. They've just got too much. There's too many people. They're enormous. It's like trying to swallow an elephant trying to buy Ubisoft. You know, even the companies that can write the fat check probably don't want to shoulder the operating cost. So even if somebody like Tencent buys them, they're going to still shutter a bunch of the studios because that's the fastest way to get to ROI. The fastest way to get to return on investment is to shutter studios and lower your operating costs. That's what Xbox did. Xbox will likely continue to do that with ABK. We'll probably see another round of layoffs at ABK at some point because it's just too big. Like 20,000 employees. Yeah, Vithar, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's too big. It's too big for somebody just to walk in the room and buy them and then shoulder all the operating costs. So more than likely, what you're going to see happen is you'll either see the IP sold. And when you see the IP sold, you will then see studios shut down, or you'll see the IP sold and then they'll sell, and then whatever new owner will then shutter studios. The same people will talk about how wrong it is that these devs lose their jobs. Oh, probably. Ubisoft has more employees than PlayStation. Yeah, I mean, that's good perspective. Like, that's how large they are. That's how large they are. It's crazy. Is that a bad thing, though? Less studios, less to focus on? Well, yes, it's bad. That's a lot of talent loss. So think about all the people that helped Valhalla and Odyssey and Origins come to the market. That's a lot of talent. That is a lot of institutional knowledge. That's a lot of experience. Where are those people going to go? There's not some haven of hiring where they can just land somewhere else. That's see, what happens is when you flood the market with talent like that, a lot of them, they end up they don't land anywhere. It's too many. If you suddenly flood the market with 10,000 people that suddenly don't have a job, where are they going to go? You know what I'm saying? There's not 10,000 jobs available right now in the gaming market. There isn't. For animators, world builders, engineers, whatever. It doesn't matter what their tool set or their abilities are. That's why I think a lot of these companies are learning that they just got too big. One of the predictions I have made is I think you're going to see a lot of companies, you'll see AAA companies shipping AA sized projects, and they'll be working on them in parallel to each other. So instead of one AAA company spending 5 or 6 years on one massive AAA game that if it fails, they're done for, what they're going to start doing is placing smaller bets. You'll see AAA quality in a AA package. They'll ship smaller games that are like, 15 hours and they're like $50 or $60 instead of some like 30 to 50 hour game that's $70, and if it doesn't sell well enough, then they're freaking cooked. It makes their margins razor thin, and it makes their company volatile. Could happen with Microsoft is they're getting too big. One of the gigantic threats to Xbox Game Studios is that they're huge. They're enormous now. You've got ABK, you've got Bethesda, and you got everybody else that they already had, Coalition and all the rest, and Playground and Turn 10 and all that. Like, yeah, that's an enormous risk for Xbox Game Studios. Their operating costs are absurdly high. Xbox needs to have extremely successful publishing efforts, or there will be a threshing floor of studio closures and layoffs. That's not fear-mongering. That's just the truth. When you get that big, it's incredibly risky. Look at what happened to Ubisoft. When you get to that size and you have a handful of flops, you're in trouble. You didn't make enough money. It's one of the reasons why I think you're going to see more studios taking the AA approach. I do. I think you're going to see studios like Santa Monica and Insomniac and others shipping, smaller games. Not like small like indie, but like what I mean is like smaller than... You're not going to constantly be getting like Spider-Man 2 sized games, Horizon Forbidden West sized games. I think those games will still come, but I think they'll be fewer and farther between. I think more and more companies are going to place those smaller bets because it's less volatile. Yeah, more like a Miles Morales, something that's smaller. Yes, I think you're going to see that's going to increase because the volatility of a 6-year massive budget AAA project. I mean, we already saw signs of this when they were considering splitting Spider-Man 3 into 2 parts. They were already considering that as a reality. Break Spider-Man 3 into 2 parts. That's less volatile. It's less risky. Sell part 1 for $50. Sell part 2 a year later for $50. You're able to probably ship better and more optimized and higher quality games, and then you're also not taking on the enormity of, and you're able to make more money. Because at the end of the day, that will be $100 game, but you're basically getting part 1 and part 2 instead of just some gigantic game that hits and is extremely risky If it doesn't sell enough copies, they're in trouble. $2 from Mike Deasy. Microsoft games are going to be successful on PS5. Certain games, yes. I think Forza will do incredibly well on PlayStation. I think Gears will do incredibly well on PlayStation. Yes, I do. I think Blade will crush on PlayStation because there's a groundswell of people that are going to see the Marvel logo and they're going to see Blade and they're going to go, frick yeah, because they've been playing Spider-Man Miles, Spider-Man 2, and Wolverine, and maybe the Venom game is real, I don't know. But I think they're going to see that Marvel logo, and Blade's going to go nuts on PlayStation. You've got an established fan base of people that are going to trust that logo. Marvel went through a rough patch with Avengers, and then Guardians of the Galaxy didn't do that great. Midnight Suns didn't do that great, right? But if it's like a single-player game, I think it just hits different. I think the PlayStation crowd will be like, in Marvel we trust. We like Marvel games. As long as they don't fumble Blade. I trust the studio. I trust Arcane Leon to make an amazing game. I think they've got a good track record. I think they'll make an excellent game. I don't understand how Spider-Man 2 was so much more expensive than the first game. Well, you got to think about the development period and inflation. You also have to think about they probably had more people working on it as well. They grew and hired more people. So, budget goes up. They also were negotiating voice contracts with people that probably, charge more money. You had Tony Todd, you had Yuri again, like a lot of those people. The next time you make a game, you got to pay them more. The Captain America Black Panther game, yeah, the Rise of Hydra, is that what it's called? That's Amy Hennig's game. Yeah. That first trailer looked really, really good. It looked really, really good. Almost too good. It had that it had that too good to be true unreal look. You know what I mean? People forget the live service game that was being made at the same time. The spider. Did that even get made? I thought that was in concept phase, and they shot it down. They canceled it. I worry about the third Horizon game. Sure, the story is set up well, but if there was not enough innovation in new gameplay, it's going to be hard for a lot of folks to shell out $70 for it. Who did they get? Somebody's helping them with it that worked on some game with guns. I think the weaponry is going to change dramatically in the third Horizon game. Because near the end, you get that thing, that Mega Man thing on your arm, and it's like a gun. We recently saw they brought somebody on, didn't they? Who'd they bring on? I can't remember. We read something, and I was like, oh, it's going to drive me nuts. It made me think, they're really going to change the weapon system in Horizon 3. I think it'll become more like gun-based, more ballistic-based. Like, I still think you'll have your bow. I mean, that's iconic to the franchise, but I think we've only begun to see... Yeah, that's it. It was a guy from Destiny, wasn't it? They got a guy from Destiny. Yeah, right there. I'm telling you, I think there's going to be more guns. It'll be more gun-based in Horizon 3. Chris Proctor from Bungie. Yeah, thank you. I was like, I remember seeing that and thinking, a bow that launches machine guns. Yeah, that's it. No, I think she's going to need new weaponry. There'll be a new threat. There'll be new weaknesses and new defenses, and I think she'll need new weaponry. Yeah. Yeah, I think it'll be amazing. Yeah, bigger scale fights, bigger mounts. If you played Horizon Forbidden West Burning Shores DLC, oh my gosh. That final fight, if that's a taste of what they can do leaving behind PS4, woo-wee. It's going to be good, man. That fight was excellent. That fight was so good. Can't wait to see what Kojima with his new espionage game. Yeah, Kojima's. I mean, is there something higher than cooking that we can reserve just for him? That man doesn't cook. He barbecues. I mean, my man's barbecuing, bro. Have you seen the trailer for that new trailer for Death Stranding 2? It was so good, it's causing people to go back to the first game, and they're like, all right, I got to figure Stranding 2 looks so good that a bunch of us were like, okay, we've got to play the first game and figure out how to enjoy this, dude. We got to figure this one out, man. We really, really do. Another blip? Come on, YouTube. Jiminy Christmas. They're making it so hard to stream. That's facts. The trailer made me go back. We back. Yeah. Try to get us to 500 likes. If you guys haven't hit the like button yet, likes definitely help. Likes definitely help. You're not getting these blips. It could be regional. It might not be YouTube. It could be a regional thing. There could be a server somewhere. We have good views. Yeah, no, we were in the 900s, though, before this blip. This blip's going to make it look like we have 1,000, and we really don't. And then we're going to fall from that 1,000. So try to get us to 500 likes. We need a 10 bomb, and I'll drop a 5 bomb. Now's a great time to attack the member goal as well. I'll drop a 5 bomb as soon as that happens. Somebody tag team with me. Drop a 10 bomb of members. I'll drop a 5. Smash the heck out of that like button. We need 30 more likes to 500. That definitely like protects us from the big drops, because it communicates to YouTube that you guys are enjoying the show. The likes especially. I was like, why is my ring going off? $2 super chat from Mike Deasy. Are we still getting Metal Gear 1 and 2 remastered? I have no idea. Member Light renewal from Doomslayer, 26 months. Is this blip called the blip because it takes away half the viewers? Ha 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 ha. Shut the frick up. No, I don't think so. I think we just call it a blip because it's a blip. It's a little blip, you know? Towerborn comes to Xbox and Game Pass on April the 29th, along with a huge new update. I think Towerborn looks sick. I'm kind of bummed that it didn't launch when it was supposed to, but what are you going to do? I hope early access really helps them. I hope they deliver, a really great game, because it looks really fun. It looks really, really fun. So, yep, guys, 1 hour. I'm actually going to schedule the stream right now. I'm going to schedule the stream right now for the review roundup. And the reason that I'm doing this is we want the review roundup to be in its own stream and have its own, it'll be shorter, right? This is going to end up being, a longer stream. So we want it to be separate. So we'll redirect over to that. We will redirect over to that. But I'm going to schedule it now. And we like to do this because it makes it easy for you guys to consume the content later as well. You can just find the review roundup and just watch that instead of having to skip. How long we've been streaming? Yeah, you're going to skip 3 hours of this stream just to get to the reviews. I try to make the content more consumable and easier to watch later. Assassin's Creed Shadows, live gaming news playlist. No, there's no AI here. Okay, all right. Got to put my tags in, even though they don't use tags anymore. The reason I do that is one day they'll turn them back on and start using them again, and then I'll be like, well, I've not been using tags for I've not been using tags for 3 years. Today at 1 go. Hoping for a high 8. I think it's going to be mid 80s. Yeah. I think it's going to be mid 80s. Yeah, 85. Solid. I'm hoping for a solid 85. Just boom. Skillup will hate it. I usually agree with Skillup when he reviews games. I do. I don't think he's big on AC, but I don't think he's big on stuff from UB. But I genuinely think you get honesty from him. Everybody's got bias, right? So I don't expect him to be soaring about AC shadows, right? I don't expect him to be soaring. Make that into a GIF. I didn't leave the zoom up long enough. I did not leave the zoom up long enough when I zoomed in for the shut the frick up. All right. 33 Immortals. The fight begins today. It's available now. Yep. Can we get 14 more likes on the video, guys? We're super close to 500. Super close to 500. Nobody wanted a tag team. Tag team with me on the member count. People are being pretty brutal about that Last of Us poster. I got to admit, it's not working. It isn't. It's not working. It isn't working. She doesn't look menacing or threatening. Listen. I like her. I think she's nice. I think she's a great actor. Okay? She's a great actor. But this is like, I don't want to take my school picture. Right? Like, this doesn't work, man. I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry. It doesn't look like Ellie's supposed to look menacing. She's supposed to look crazy. Oh gosh, we're blipping like crazy. Did it stop? We're dropping frames. Oh, it's happening again. I'm gonna have to switch ingest. I think it's the ingest server that I'm on. I'm gonna switch ingest servers, boys. All right. Well, wait, hang on. I think it's. I'm very, very. I think I'm gonna switch ingest servers. Give me 1 second. Okay. You're gonna have to refresh. I'm hoping that helps. The bit rate was all over the place, and the only thing I could guess is that it was the server I was on. Yeah, the original poster, like, again, I like Bella. I do. I like Bella Ramsey. I think she did a great job in the first season. But, like, you know what I'm saying? I just think this to this, I'm sorry. It just doesn't evoke that. She literally looks like a kid that doesn't want her school picture taken. This looks like somebody that's going to kill you in your sleep. Do you know what I'm saying? Like this, like number one, some of this is not Bella's fault, okay? Some of this is not Bella's fault. You will notice Ellie's chin is tucked, so it makes her eyes look more menacing, right? Her eyes look more menacing here. Because her chin is tucked. Like when you tuck your chin and you look up and you like bring your brow down. So posture is everything. She's also furling her brow and like almost like showing her teeth, like almost like an animal. This is more animalistic. Like she's almost like in the wild. Like I'm gonna kill you in the dark with a sharpened stick, right? And then you got this. This is like. Did I just see a cat cross the road? What was that? Like she almost looks like she's like curious. Doesn't look threatening. She's not tucking her chin. She's not furling her brow. She's not like grimacing or like gritting her teeth to look like almost like animalistic. Like they're really not helping her at all. She hasn't aged for the role. She still looks very young. That's not her fault. Like what's she going to do? She can't change the way that her face looks. Like she just hasn't aged as much as you would have maybe wanted to see for the role for the time. But they're not really setting her up in that picture to look the way that she's supposed to look. How threatening can Bella Ramsey be? I think that may be her limit. Are there pictures of her angry anywhere? I don't know. I think use of lighting, I think you can do a lot with lighting. You really can. Look. I'm not saying that she looks scary here. I'm saying they could have tried a little bit harder. Like, she doesn't look menacing or scary there. Part of the problem is she has small eyebrows, and she has a somewhat, you know, a somewhat, like, she's got some of that, like, I guess you would describe it a little bit like as like when you're younger, it's almost like a baby fat. It's like she's not fat, but it's almost like this, it's a puffiness. It makes it harder to look menacing. It makes her look young. Small nitpicks? I don't think it's small nitpicks, man. I mean, the look of Ellie in the second game is significant in the fact that you believe she's on her own now. She's surviving on her own. Like, look. They could have done better work. They could have done better work with Bella to make her look more menacing and more scary. They could have. Some people don't have an angry face. They just look like they're concentrating. Thank you for the $5 super chat, Demetrius. I'm just saying, with lighting and maybe angles of her face, there's a handful of things they could have done to help. I'm not saying that she's ever going to look super menacing, but look. I think there are ways to look better than, oh, where did it go? Like, look at this, and then look at this. She's even younger here. And I think you could have used lighting, you could have used angles, you could have done a lot of things to make her look a little bit more. I don't think she's ever going to look like Ellie does on the cover of the game. I don't think you're ever going to get her to look like that. But you could have done a little bit better than they did. I feel like they're selling her short a little bit. I think they could have done a better job. It's not all on her. She can't change what she looks like. She can't look older than she is. They could have used angles, lighting, and makeup to make her look more menacing. Yeah, there could be, again, blood, grime, dirt. That helps too, because it makes it really sells the what you're trying to evoke in the image. You're trying to evoke fear, and she's grisly and she's threatening, and the image that they did, it doesn't evoke that like at all. It evokes like nothing. It's just flat. It just doesn't do anything. Yeah, the blood splatter probably would have helped. Trill Troll with the VIP, zoom in and show us your most menacing face. No, I am not supplying you or future thumbnails with me looking like I'm like constipated. I think the show is going to be great. I do. I think Last of Us Season 2 is going to be great. I think the people sort of in charge of the marketing, I think they should have spared her that criticism and that attention that she's getting because of that poster. That poster is bad. It's arguably not a good poster. They did other posters earlier. Last of Us Season 2 posters. Hang on. They did other posters that were better, right? This is a good example of how to work with what you got. This one, where she's like standing on the guitar. This is working with what you have. You know it's her, the flannel, the hair, all of it. Like, you know that that's her. Like, you're working with what you got. Like, she doesn't look, you know, the part yet. Here's even a better one. I think this looks fan-made. This looks fan-made. That's better. Again, you're doing a better job. Her chin is tucked. Her eyes are more furrowed and more like, and her mouth's open. That's about as menacing as she's gonna look, right? That's about as menacing as she's gonna look, because she's got this youthful, like, she's got this youthfulness to her that she's just not gonna look very scary. She looks like a freaking kid, you know. I read the actress who's playing Abby is walking around with security. Yeah. She had to have extra security because people are insane. It's a fictional character in a fictional story, and she's playing the character. Like, she didn't write the character. Yeah, I saw the God of War. They're really like confident in it, and they know for what is it? They're like they know for certain it's going to be 2 seasons or something. Was what I saw. I didn't do a lot of research into it because we weren't doing a typical talk show today, so I didn't go and like deep dive into any of it. That show is cooked. Why is it cooked? Did bad info come out about the God of War show? The showrunner isn't a gamer? That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. God of War 2018 and Ragnarok have a very high cinematic quality. As long as he's familiar with the source material, he doesn't have to play the game. I want somebody who's really good at directing a movie or a TV show making it, not somebody who can throw down in the game. I don't need a gamer. I don't need a gamer to make the God of War show. I need a great director to make the show. And all he's got to do is be familiar with the source material. Really? Yeah. Think about what I'm saying, Brooklyn. Just hear what I'm saying. I don't need somebody who's really good at video games to make the video game TV show. I need him to honor and be familiar with the source material. Do you think the people who wrote and directed and scripted and screen capped the sequence between Kratos and Baldur, do you think they're all god tier gamers, or do you think they understand character development, writing, and pacing? You think the people who cast, Daniel Faraday from Lost as Baldur, do you think that they are all god tier gamers, or they understand he's perfect for the role? Do you see what I'm saying? Do you think Christopher Judge is a god tier gamer? Do you think the guy who played Baldur is a god tier gamer? I want the person who's excellent at directing. I don't need him to be super good at video games. He just needs to know this is the source material. This is Kratos. This is his story. This is who he is. Honor the source material. The T-Lu TV show is amazing for a reason. Did the director for T-Lu, is it a god tier gamer, or were they just familiar with the source material and they worked with Neil Druckmann? Read it, boy. Right. Robert Moore has a strong track record. Outlander, Battlestar Galactica, For All Mankind, many high-rated Star Trek shows. Neil Druckmann worked on it. Right, you need people from Santa Monica. You got Cory Barlog in the room. I'm not worried at all. Yeah, Moore is Moore the showrunner? Moore goes back to Battlestar Galactica and Star Trek The Next Generation. We don't have anything to worry about. We don't have anything to worry about. Yeah, I'll stream AC Shadows. I will. They need Jaffe in the room. If you're trying to base it off of 2018 and Ragnarok, I love Jaffe, right? Like a crazy old uncle, but I don't think Jaffe would be necessary. I think you need Cory Barlog in the room. I think you want Cory Barlog in the room. That's who you want. I don't need a god-tier gamer directing a movie. I need a god-tier director. I need a god-tier showrunner. That's what I want. I want a good writer, director, and showrunner in charge. I don't care if you're good at the game. Fallout was good. Right. Were the people that were in charge of the Fallout TV show, were they all god-tier gamers? Were they familiar and have played Fallout? Now, we know that the lead star, Ella Purnell, she went and played it, which is admirable. She is awesome. She's so freaking adorable. It's painful. But she went and played it, but I don't know about the showrunners and the directors, and Fallout turned out to be amazing. You watching the Shadows launch showcase? No, we're going to be going to our own stream. We're going to be doing an Assassin's Creed Shadow review roundup. I just think the showrunner who has basic understanding of the game, but we will see. I think it's going to be cooked, but I truly hope I'm wrong. Did you see why he couldn't play, though? He couldn't figure out modern controllers. Like, he could watch every cutscene from God of War 2018 and Ragnarok, and that's all he needs. He's got the tone, the vibe, the music, the character, the voices. You don't need to be like, oh, I'm really good with the controller and I played through. You know what I'm saying? Like, if my dad had like a long-standing experience as like a showrunner and a director of movies, I would trust him, even though I know putting a controller in his hands, he's going to be like fumbling with it. That doesn't make it any better. I think we would need evidence of like showrunners and directors needing to be familiar, needing to be gamers. Who are you and why are you mentioning me? Okay. I'll just mute you. I don't know who you are. The lack of self-awareness. Dudes in their 40s console warring. How old are you? You're seething on Twitter. We'll see, though. I said I'm hoping I'm wrong. I guess that's what we should do, though, Brooklyn. We should research the directors and showrunners of Fallout. Like, Fallout was incredible. The Last of Us was incredible. These are video game TV shows that have done incredibly well. We would need to look and see, were the people at the helm gamers? Witcher, the first season of The Witcher, were the showrunners and directors gamers? Now, Henry Cavill is not just dreamy, he is a gamer, and we know that helped. But I'm talking showrunners and directors. I don't know if that's the case. I think the most important thing is make sure you got Cory Barlog in the room. Make sure Santa Monica's a part of it, and then I think it'll be fine. Paul W.S. Anderson is a gamer, and look at his Resident Evil movies. Todd Howard helped with Fallout. Yeah, you got to have people like that in the room. As much as I don't like Todd Howard's input on 30 FPS versus 60 FPS, you got to have people like him in the room. You can't, you really, really can't, I don't think, successfully make a game, movie, X is in trouble, dude. Twitter's in trouble. The premium blue subscription went from like 10 to 15 to 20 to $30 a month. It's going up to $50 a month. Yeah, I'm canceling my subscription. That platform's becoming a freaking joke. $50 a month so I can actually post videos at decent resolution? Get the frick out of here. $50 a month? I don't even have a TV subscription this is that expensive. Disney Plus isn't that much. Hulu, HBO. I could probably have every subscription out there and not, well, no, not every. I don't have a single subscription that's $50 a month. Not one. That's like a cell phone bill. For what? Yeah, like, I originally paid for it because if you want to post longer videos or videos at a decent resolution, like right now, when I lose my check mark on that site and I want to post a video, the quality is going to be terrible. It's terrible. The last time I uploaded a video without a check, somebody was like, this video looks terrible. And I'm like, sorry, they lower the resolution if you're not paying money. They must be absolutely, it must be. They got to be hurting, because that is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. I just got the notification through the App Store, and I'm like, nope, cancel it. I did a little experiment. I thought, I'll buy it. I'll post videos. We'll see how much money we make. We made like $10. I'm not even breaking even. I'm not even breaking even. Like, it'd be one thing if I could do it and you get the increased reach and the better video quality. If it was like, yep, it's $30 a month and I'm making $30 a month. Yeah, I think that's worth it. But if it's $30 a month and I'm making 10, no, that's a waste of my money. Your platform does nothing for me anyway. It's so toxic. It's so toxic. You won't be able to compare graphics on your Twitter vids anymore? Yeah. Yeah. Indiana Jones pre-order for PS5's up early in France with an April 17th release date. Yeah, we were pretty sure that, based on what Tom Warren said, that it was going to be, Indiana Jones was going to be April, because Forza is in April, and yeah, Forza's in April, and there will be, it seemed like there were going to be more games, yeah, for coming to PlayStation in April. The rumor about the Oblivion remake 2 makes me wonder. Nate the Hate said that it was planned to be announced in April and potentially shadow dropped. I wonder if that's also coming. I wonder. The embargo lifts in 30 minutes. We're going to go to a new stream. We'll probably go over maybe 10 minutes early, and we'll get ready. I'll pull up Metacritic. We'll refresh, and then we'll just kind of watch the score. So hope you have a great stream. Thank you. How long left? Yeah. 30 minutes. 30 minutes. We appreciate you guys supporting the stream today. Killer turnout. So many likes. So many memberships. And if you guys have never done a membership before on YouTube, you can consider supporting the channel directly. That's how I do this full time. I have a very strong support base. Most of the members are gifted. We would like for that to change over time. We would like more people to pick up your own membership. It's $6 a month for Member Plus. That's the one that you would want to pick. And you get into morning coffee in the green room every day, which are extra segments just for members. And it's basically a cup of coffee a month. 1 cup of coffee a month gets you into extra shows every day of the week. Any reviews yet? There was a leaked IGN Brazil that was a 9, but that's all we've seen. There was another one that leaked that was an 8. Anything on the back? Yeah. Let me see if I can do this for you. Oh, wow. That's interesting. Why is that frozen? Huh. It says AC Origins. Oh, that's the USB port. That's the USB port that I was using the capture cards on that were freezing that one night. I swapped everything around, and I thought, if that thing ever freezes, it's not that big of a deal because it's the side cam. I bet you that's what it is. It's that USB port. I don't know what's wrong with it. Sir Gabby with the Member Plus bumps the line to 217. Thank you so much. I can see a 9 from IGN being very likely. Well, this was IGN Brazil. IGN Brazil very, very often does not line up with the main IGN score. Yeah, look at all those wonderful shells in the corner. Shut up, Fuzzy. Shut your frickin' face. Shut it. Spot from Timmy. Indiana Jones plays best on the PS5 Pro. Thank you, Timmy, for the $2. 3 leaked reviews so far. A 4.5 out of 5, a 9, and a 9. Really? Game Rant's apparently a 9 as well. Towerborn will arrive on Xbox with a huge update. Cross-platform, couch co-op, class skills, new enemy type, new blah 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 blah. Coming April 29th. I think this game looks so freaking great. I really do. I really hope they can nail I really hope they can nail early access. Early access can kind of go poorly for games like this. It can. And I think this one just looks great. It looks super fun. Let's see how it's faring on Steam. I haven't checked it in a while. Big Helmet Heroes was pretty disappointing. I didn't like it. I thought it was going to have a lot more to it. Okay, Towerborn's got a 77 on Steam. That's not bad for early access. So you obviously want it to go up over time. So that's good, though, that Towerborn is coming to Xbox in April. It was supposed to come last year to Game Pass. When it officially launches in 1.0, it will be free to play, which means you don't need Game Pass to play it, which kind of makes some of that marketing weird, but whatever. So is it coming to... Oh, Game Pass Preview. Yeah, so you do need Game Preview. You do need Game Pass to play in the Game Pass Preview. If not, you probably have to buy it, right? You probably have to buy it. So... PC Gamer. I'm not a gamer, says God of War Amazon series new showrunner, unwittingly kicking the hornet's nest despite years of acclaimed writing experience. Yeah, people need to remember who they're talking about before getting so upset. I mean, I don't know. Super Nintendo graphics? That doesn't look like Super Nintendo graphics, F-Cat. Super Nintendo graphics would be like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle side-scroller that came out like Shredder's Revenge. That's what games look like on Super Nintendo. Come on. Those graphics looked great for a side-scroller. What do you mean? Ugh. Reforge, I've been watching a Sea of Seeds post about Oblivion because the dude has nailed all of his other things that he has said. Yeah, Seeds has had some good predictions. The fact that IGN gave Veilguard a 9 shows me how little weight their opinion has. Here's the problem with what you're saying, okay? It's never the same person, though. You look like Super Nintendo graphics. That's right. It's never the same person. So the person who gave Veilguard a 9, what if they just really liked it? I got 25 hours in, and I was liking it way more than I thought I was going to, and then I really started to not like it. I started to really not like it. So what if it's somebody at IGN that just liked it? There's actually some people over there that write good stuff. I'm not a huge fan of IGN, but there's people over there that write good stuff and do good work. They need to change their name back. Yeah, they made their account 7 months ago. Yeah, I'm probably going to have to do that. And now that I'm thinking about it, it was funny, but I'm going to have to hide that. It's only a 7-month-old account, so it's not some long-standing member. Looking at recent sales figures, I don't even know why we would care about review scores anymore. Yeah, I didn't like Avowed. No. I think review scores are helpful to get a barometer. If you go to Metacritic and a game, let's say you go to Metacritic and a game has a 60%. You're not going to trust that. If it's got like 100 reviews and a 60%, you're not going to be like, well, I'm going to find out for myself. You probably know that you're signing up for a pile of crap, right? You probably know you're signing up for a pile of crap game. You know what I mean? Like when Split Fiction got a really good score or Kingdom Come Deliverance got a really good score. You're like, oh, this is going to be great. Now, there are obvious exceptions to this. Like Jedi Survivor got great scores for the most part, and then Monster Hunter Wilds got great scores, but then the games have issues with optimization. I think Dragon's Dogma 2 was the same way, wasn't it? Dragon's Dogma 2... Metacritic. it has an 86. Like, this is a perfect example of like a game that was poorly optimized and had all kinds of problems. Like, look at the user scores. The users were freaking furious. You see what I'm saying? So I will grant you that Metacritic can sometimes be misleading in terms of like technical issues. Ecstasis is going to give his final verdict. He spent over 60 hours in AC Shadows. I don't trust review outlets in general. I watch gameplay after release to make a decision. I think that's fair. Yeah, I think that's fair. I thought the writing outside of Tash was really good. I didn't think the writing in Veilguard was that bad. Tash was insufferable. Tash was terrible. That's got to be one of the worst written characters I've ever interacted with. I kind of like some of the writing got pretty good with, what was her name, Balera, the Asian chick. I thought some of her story got interesting with her brother and stuff. I thought they were doing a pretty good job. I got freaking sick of that combat. It just drove me nuts. I mean, I was not at all, enjoying it. It drove me nuts. I have a handful of trusted reviewers like Easy Allies. They're outlets that the trouble is it's always a different person. So like there was a time where I thought The Gamer had really good reviews, but then there's been a couple of times where they've had some takes that I thought were just absolutely out there. And then what were some of the other ones I feel like are pretty reliable? I feel like Eurogamer's pretty reliable, PC Gamer, but then sometimes they have takes and ideas and I'm like, what the frick? Like I don't feel like anybody is perfectly reliable. Sometimes they'll have really weird takes or they'll have like bias that just really overrides. So that's why you get a general barometer. You go to Metacritic, OpenCritic, and you're like, okay, this game's probably pretty solid or this game's probably really, really excellent. But you still are going to want to either find out for yourself or as what's been said in chat, try to watch some Try to watch some gameplay. PC Gamer generally have some odd opinions sometimes. Yeah, I felt like Eurogamer was... You know who I miss? I tell you who I miss. I miss Game Informer. I thought their reviews were always solid. They were always well written. I always felt like they were fair. I never felt like I got to the end of a Game Informer review and was like, what the frick is this? Like, I always felt like we got a very, very good summary of, game mechanics, quality, pros, cons. I miss Game Informer. They were one of the companies, they were one of the outlets I made sure to always include in a review roundup. I always liked their stuff. So you have early access to the game. I might be able to get early access, but I have no guarantee. I have some ways of getting codes. I didn't get early access. I didn't get a review copy though. No. Blame GameStop for that downfall. Yeah, that was unfortunate. I liked them. I remember I would get the magazine. I liked getting the magazine. I thought it was dope. I hope Tom Henderson and his outfit, they're trying to get like a physical magazine off the ground. I take reviews into consideration, but I'm patient enough to see what my friends think of it. I'll also wait to see how Lono feels about it if he plays it. One thing you will always get from me is pretty raw reaction to a game. If it's got problems, rough edges, frustrations, glitches, bugs, like I'm not gonna hold back. Like, and there's no reason for me to play nice with Ubi because they didn't play nice with me. You know what I'm saying? I've got no reason to soften my response to anything. I think one of the reasons I'm not really bothered about being blacklisted by some of these companies is you're never going to get like flowery, gotta maintain my access, nothing from me. You're always going to get an unfiltered, I love it or this is bad. So if I end up praising a Ubi game, I'm being honest, because I have every reason to be like, game sucks, they suck. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I end up praising AC Shadows, you could probably take that to the bank, because I have every reason to be either disappointed, as I'm anticipating it severely, as well as I'm a huge Tsushima fan, but also, like, I don't have any love for Ubisoft, bro. I don't have any love for Ubi, you know? So, they gave you an avatar code? They did. And then they kicked me out of their creator club because somebody emailed them about all the crap from 2020. They literally admitted in an email. I'm like, that's business disruption, right? Like, you just admitted that, like, somebody reached out and let us know that you did some bad stuff allegedly did some bad stuff, so you're out. And we couldn't get a response. It was like, I can't appeal this? Like, okay. Detonate somebody's business opportunities with a couple of tweets. It's like, that's cool. Will Hancock with a member light. Welcome back. I was wondering if you... No. No. That V guy. Number one, I'm not talking about that any longer. And my attempt to retract and do the right thing was met with a bunch of claims about me that are wrong, a bunch of claims about my content that are false. So if people are going to make false claims about me, I'm always going to say, provide evidence, and if you don't, you're lying. And that's all I have to say about that. Was there anybody that helped you get back in with them? Not really, no. This industry is very cliquish. Like, I'm serious. Once you get blacklisted, it's kind of over. Like, it's really, really hard to get back in with companies because they just don't care. As soon as you're marked like not brand safe, or as soon as you're marked like, nope, don't work with that guy, you will stay there. You will. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how big your channel is. It doesn't matter how popular you become. Like, once that happens, once a company kind of deems you, don't work with that guy. I mean, it's happened with really big YouTubers. There are YouTubers that are like 1,000 times my size, and it'll happen to them. It has nothing to do with like, oh, but if you get so big, they'll look patent. No. If they decide that you're not to be included, you won't be included. I mean, look at what happened with Veilguard. I think they were worried. They were worried about some of that nonsense coming up in reviews, and the way that they treated that was all of a sudden people that were included were not included. It was super weird. Do you remember that in the lead up? And I told you guys, I was like, that's kind of concerning. I think they were 100% trying to shield Veilguard from bad reviews on Metacritic. I do. They literally had people that were included in capture events that were like covering the game exhaustively, just suddenly not given review access. It was bizarre. It was very, very bizarre. Yeah, guys, 15 minutes. So in 2 minutes, we're going to go to the new stream. I'm going to take a very, very brief break. And when I come back, we're going to switch to the new stream, okay? So don't go anywhere. I will be right back, all right? Smash like. We're going to have to go to a new stream and smash like all over again, all right? I will be right back. I'll be right back, okay? Don't go anywhere. We're going to look at all these reviews in 15 minutes. Okay, I'm back. All right. So I'm going to provide you guys with a link. And then we're going to go live in a new stream, and I'm going to redirect you, okay? It's super, super helpful when we do this to you guys to just dogpile on the new stream, right? Go crazy. Go over there. Get the chat going. Get the likes going, all right? I'm going to spam a link in chat. I'm also going to send a tweet. Assassin's Creed Shadows review roundup live. Sometimes that kind of thing can cause blips. Guys, redirect's not super reliable, so you see those links in chat, click those links. Click those links as opposed to hoping redirect gets you over there. It's super, super helpful when we have tons of people on the new stream. Super, super helpful to what we do here to have that kind of support. So click the link in chat. Hang on, let me get the Metacritic pulled up. AC Shadows. Open Critic. I'm going to start like this. Thank you so much for checking out this video. If you are watching this later, this is going to be the Assassin's Creed Shadows review roundup. So we're going to look at the AC Shadows review score average. I've got Metacritic right here. We'll refresh it. If you're watching this later, just skip ahead like 13 minutes and you'll get to the review roundup. I am predicting mid-80s, like solid 85, I think, which is going to be very good for this game. It's got a lot going against it. It's had a lot of people like, you know, wanting it to fail, and also it got delayed. I'm going to end the previous stream, which was a review waiting room, and I'm going to bring all those folks over with a redirect. I'll make sure and change that thumbnail